Hey, thanks for watching. Today I brought out my Smith & Wesson 586, and what I'm going to be replacing today is I'm going to be replacing the it's the power rib mainspring and then the rebound spring. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and lighten up on the trigger. So I bought a kit from Wolf. I've heard some goods and some bads on this kit, but I'm going to give it a shot anyways. So um, the springs that they've given me, you buy the kit, it costs you $15, and they'll give you 3 springs. And the springs they give you are the weight are 13, 14, and 15. So you got 3 choices to make on there. And I believe the tension or the main spring, the stock one that it comes with is a 19 foot-pound spring. So even if you just put the 15 in there, you're doing good. So I'm going to start with the 14. I'm going to go in the middle, and I'm going to try the 14 out. So what I want to do first is I want to open up the gun. I want to make sure it's not loaded. We're good to go there. And first thing I'm going to remove is the grips on it. You don't want to use well, you're unable to use too big of a screwdriver. You don't want to use anything too small or thing that's going to scratch up the wood. So got one that fits it just right. Go ahead and pull those off. Screw's going to come out. Grips are going to come apart. And this, the Model 586 I have, it's the most recent one. It's so we'll go ahead and put those aside. And next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to remove. We've got 3 screws to remove over here, and you want to make sure as you remove the screws, make sure and put them somewhere safe, and make sure they go back in where they came from. So I believe the 2 screws in the back here holding the plate on are the same. One up front here, it's holding the yoke in, and the cylinder with your yoke. Here's your yoke, and here's your cylinder. So the yoke is what's holding the cylinder in there. So we'll go ahead and start with that one. Move the yoke out of the way. And this one here is on Loctite. So I'll be putting that back in there. I won't put it back in the first time, because what I'll do is I'll put these springs in, I'll take it out, test fire it, see if it works. So I'll avoid putting the Loctite on, but you can see that has some Loctite on there. So we'll go ahead and put that aside. And now our cylinder should come right out. Just comes right out just like that. So go ahead and put that aside. Then we'll go ahead and remove the 2 in the back. Like I was saying, make sure your screwdriver is not too big, not too wide. You'll end up scratching it up. Comes right out. And you put, just to make sure, put them side by side, make sure they're both the same size, so you don't end up putting them in wrong. So they're both the same. And for me, let's see, when I go ahead and pop this off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just knock around here a couple times, and I'll go inside the plate here. Just to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my main spring here and kind of tweak it there. As long as I'm not scratching it up, I'm okay with it. What you're going to find, let's see, just give it a little twist. You can see it comes right up. It comes up except for up in here. Right up in here is what's holding it in. It's not going to just pop up. It's going to pop up this way here, and then you're going to slide it out. So pop it up and slide it out and give you a closer look at that. You can see up right here, that's what's holding it, this little part of it right here. So anyways, we'll go ahead and put that aside, and then we'll remove the hammer block. Here's your hammer block here. This will just come right out, so you might want to clean that up if it's dirty. I'm good there. And then you got your rebound slide, which is right here. This is your rebound slide, which is butting up to your trigger there. So that's the first thing we're going to be replacing is a rebound slide spring. A spring's inside there. So what I'm going to be using to remove that, I'm going to be using that little screwdriver here. It's got the rubber back to it, so I'm not worried about scratching anything. And I'm going to go inside here, and there's the post there that's supporting it all. You want to make sure and not bother that, because you break that and you're done with. So, and it's going to come up, or come out, sorry, at an angle. I don't know if you guys can see that. See how it's coming out? It's coming out at an angle. And that tool they make for it, just make sure the spring doesn't shoot out. So I'm just going to hold my finger there to catch the spring. And I'll continue from the bottom there, just slowly lifting up. There we go. You might have heard that. It spring kind of shot back. So pull the spring out, and then this guy will come right off of there. Don't even need to really pull it all the way out, but just pop her out, just like that. So this goes in one way, or comes out one way and goes in one way. So there's that. Set that down. Now we'll loosen up the main spring in the back here. This is another one you're going to be able to adjust it. You don't want to not have enough tension on it, so you can see the way it just straightened out as I let off on there. Pull that out, all the tension's off. Now you can just go ahead and easily bring it up. It's going to come down here. Just comes right out. So there's the original, and there's the new one made by Wolf. You can see the difference there in them. See this, like I said, this is the stock one, and the one that Wolf sends already has a little bit of a bend to it. See that? So we'll go ahead and put that in, and that only goes in one way, same way it came out. And when you get it in there, it's got to fit. Let's give you a quick look. If it's not evenly in there, if you can't run your fingers by both sides, if it's sticking out further on one side than the other, you need to fix that. Okay, there it is. So once you get it in there, should fit loosely like so. So that's back in, and we'll tighten back up on the screw here. And while I'm doing that, I'm holding my finger on the back here, my thumb on the top here to make sure it's in between. And that's it for that. Okay, then we'll go back to putting the rebound spring back in. Like I was saying before, this part here, it only goes in one way. And I decided on putting the 14-pound back in there. I'm sorry, not back in there, but in there in the place of the stock one. Here's the stock one here. And there's the 14. You can see the stock one. It's a little bit longer. So it's going to have all that tension on it. I'm using a little screwdriver there to bring it back. Okay. It's back in and in its place. Okay. So now we've got our hammer block to put back in. Like I was saying before, make sure it's clean. That only goes in one way also. And when you put it back in, make sure it's not down here. Make sure it's up here. So, and then like I was saying before also about the plate, it's got this little groove in it here. It's got to go up and underneath there, and then it's going to drop down. So we'll put that up and in there. It drops right into place. And we got our 2 screws here to put in. And I'll just lightly put them in before I tighten them up just a little bit. And you don't want one tighter than the other. I'm sure there's some kind of torque to them. I don't know what that is. Okay, so the last one there, I'm not going to put any Loctite on there yet. Like I was saying before, I'll take it out shooting, see if I like it, if it works right, and then I'll come back and I'll put my Loctite on there. So, oh wow, feel a difference in that already. Same with the grip there, you're only going against wood. You don't want to overly tighten it. One thing or I should say one thing I haven't liked about the gun is this screw does seem to loosen up on me. It never came with any Loctite on it. You shouldn't have to put Loctite on it. And like I was saying, you don't want to over tighten it because you'll crack it. So I'll tighten it to an extent, but it comes loose on me. Kind of disappointed. So wow, firing it in the double action there feels like firing it in the single action how it was. So I'm going to go ahead and take that out and see how that works. Thanks for watching.